All right, I'm here with Kai, who gave a great talk about his experience with resilient coders. So yeah, just wanted to talk a little bit more about your talk. And the first question I have is, how did you come up with your talk? What was, what brought you to that?
So I've recently been thinking a lot about my journey as far as education and the path that I decided to go down. I titled it Assemblers versus Makers because I felt like throughout my experience with education, um, I was always in situations where I'd be required to be an assembler, where be required to read from an instruction list and do X, Y, and Z rather than figure out how to do X, Y, and Z. Um, and I feel like that's still one of the biggest problems with our education system is that we're not being given the room to be creators and innovate.
So more of a factory worker type model than creative.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that syncs up with a lot of education theory, like the idea that our schools were kind of like our education system was put in place to train factory workers and like get people up to a base minimum of knowledge. And it seems like we're stuck in that cycle.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy
Yeah.
to think about.
Totally. So how did you get started with resilient coders? That's actually one of the questions I've had. I've come a couple times. We worked together in that room, and I'm curious how you and other people in that room got started on that path.
So, as I mentioned in the speech, my path is really different. So 2 years ago, I was actually incarcerated in DYS.
Can you just expand that acronym for the?
So DYS is the Department of Youth Service. It's like juvenile detention for Boston, pretty much. So yeah, I found myself in that situation, and upon being released, like I was really questioning what I should do. I was still 17. I had my GED, and I was in love with programming, but I felt like the barriers to become a developer were impossible to overcome at that point in time. So I actually talked to a few people within BYS, higher ups, and networked my way into getting in contact with David Delmar, my mentor and the CEO of Resilient Coders. And he saw my talent and he gave me an opportunity, and I ran with it.
What got you interested in programming to begin with?
So I Googled how to make this game, and like from there it's just history. From there, from there it was a wrap.
What was the game? What was the language? What did you get into?
So it was an RPG called RuneScape. It was like an online computer game, sort of like World of Warcraft and those RPG games. And I wanted to make like this really big, elaborate online game, and like I started asking on all these forums, what do I do? What language should I learn? And people told me C++. So I went with C++, and through a lot of trials and tribulations and search queries and Stack Overflow discussions.
Yeah, I hear that.
Made my way.
All right. What's next for you?
What's next for me? Creation. I feel like what makes me Micah Martin is the fact that I'm always looking for an opportunity to create what I've dealt with. My experiences, good or bad, are just like a toolkit for me to build upon and build from. So, like, I'm currently with the Boston Globe. It's a really big company, but afterwards, I'm looking to, do my own thing more or less. I feel like there's a real gap in the African American tech market, tech demographic, because it's like there's not a lot of black coders, so there's not going to be a lot of ideas in tech for Black youth.
One of the things I noticed, one of your slides had this collage of a bunch of startups, and as I was looking through that, I don't remember specific ones, but I was thinking like most of these, and this is kind of a common critique of Silicon Valley culture, is that it's everything you see, or many of the things you see, are made by like white men in their mid to late 20s, and like we've solved pizza delivery, we've solved that problem like 40 times in different ways, and there are all these other problems, and I think that's why civic tech exists, because there's that vacuum, and we see those missing voices, and we see the problems that don't have the solutions. Maybe the solution isn't technical, but maybe it has a technological component. Do you have at the moment, like, I don't necessarily expect you to, but do you have like specific ideas on problems and solutions that you see?
Tons. So just within Resilient, so here's a few.
Yeah.
As like Black men were really picky with our barbers. To be honest, like you have one barber, that's your barber. That's your barber. Loyal to that. Be loyal to that barber. The reason is because there's no way to gauge how good the barber is, or even how easy it is. Like, how can I tell no way how to this barbershop? How can I tell the people? So we came up with the idea to build a portfolio system for barbers, and to have that portfolio system be a way to connect with barbers. So, say for instance, I go to New York to visit some family, I got to get a lineup, and there's a barbershop down the street, but I'm not sure about the quality of their work. What if there's an application where I could go see pictures, actually get in contact, directly message these barbers, hey, here's a picture as a reference of the cut that I want. Okay, cool, yada, yada, yada. Oh, you're 5 stars, you're qualified. Yeah. Common, very, very, very common tech concepts right there, obviously. And you look on the marketplace and it's like, where is that?
Sure.
Another example, the sneaker community, the aftermarket sneaker community is huge. People buy sneakers just to resell them for oftentimes 100% the value or double, like. But the point is that there isn't a tech platform that allows these sneakerheads, as they call themselves, to go out and market their sneakers on a platform dedicated to that. Reason being, in my opinion, is because there's not a lot of Black coders. There's not a lot of people in these actual niches to say, hey, here's an opportunity, let's execute on it. There aren't a lot of maker spaces to execute within. I feel like if there was an incubator on Google Lab,
Yeah.
if there was an incubator on Google Lab when I was 15, and I got a few of my friends to learn how to code, there's no doubt in my mind we would have came up with some crazy ideas. There's been times where just lounging with my friends, we've come up with some crazy ideas.
Do you, how does there's a new innovation hub going in Devon Square?
Right?
Yeah, how do you see that playing out?
So I actually have a connection with that process, and Dudley, well, that area is where I spend a lot of my life. And so I feel like African Americans as a culture, we never really had a lot. Well, we were never given a lot. Like another song, I think it was written. I think it had AZ on it. He said, like the establishment is playing with a 54 deck, playing with the 52 deck. Like you play the cards that you're dealt.
Yeah.
And even from those cards, you try to get the best hand possible. So creativity is kind of like embedded within African American culture. So from this incubator, I feel like great things will come. Great things will come. Like there will definitely be innovation within those areas.
Is there anything else you wanted to talk about, get into that you didn't get a chance to in your talk?
Yeah, I definitely want to talk more about just education and my whole path and how I kind of deviated from the traditional path to career employment, I guess. Like, I'm 19 years old and I'm in a position now, like, honestly did not think this would be possible a year ago. Like I mentioned earlier, like 2 years ago, I was sitting in the cell. Juvenile cell, juvenile charges, but I was in a cell. I was more familiar with the statistic that I would not succeed than I was familiar with the notion that 2 years from now, I'm going to have a comfy tech chair. I just really want to talk about how we're being forced to think that college is the only way out. Growing up as a kid, you know, I was fairly athletic. At one point in time, I wanted to be a professional quarterback. I've always realized that, I would never escape my socioeconomic status by working in the retail or working at the pizza shop down the street.
That seemed like the way out.
Exactly. And when I realized I was not going to be a professional quarterback, I thought my way out was college. Until I realized that kind of makes you indentured serving. And also, I actually did go to community college. After I got through my prereq schools, like, you guys are going to C++ and Java. I already know it, and I'm paying you money. But another same topic. But I want to talk more about the whole high school thing. Schools are being paid based upon test scores. It's a huge like 80 font catch 22 smacking you in the face. More money get better test scores, you get better test scores, you need a better quality school, you get a better quality school. Kind of need the money.
Yeah, it's like the people saying like pull yourself up by your best, right? Like, it's not a thing.
It's not a thing. People like give you other people Louis Vuitton shoes. Tell your story well enough. You sell your story well enough. But I mean, like, I just want to be able to get across that. In this day and age, learn anything that can be learned in school with proper dedication, proper ambition, and learn through self-teaching. That was the path that I've been down.
So you're talking the difference between school and education.
Yeah. That's exactly school and education. School is an establishment. Education is knowledge. Knowledge will take you to higher levels of spirituality, higher levels of understanding between humans. Like knowledge can do so much for us, but we see knowledge as bringing pieces of paper. We tie knowledge into an equation to get material things, and it's kind of just downplaying the whole value of knowledge being used to be a better human, I guess.
Yeah. Sorry, it's heavy stuff. Yeah.
I don't want to go on there. Like, I usually just go on there about this stuff.
This is good. This is really good. Do you want to play partnership, Matt? And if so, how do you see yourself in that?
My whole mission is all involved in that.
And that looks like that's where you're doing coders.
Exactly. Brazilian coding gave me an opportunity. I ran with it. I never started running from. I feel like tech catalyst social economic revolution, and this revolution is not even starting now has already begun. Just not in the city like communities. We've seen middle class white men go from middle class white to billionaires through college through these startups. I'm not saying everybody's going to hit a home run on the next sneakerless idea. But what I'm saying is you're gonna be better learner because the people who are paid more are the people who are more knowledgeable within their field. And I mean college, not even college. High school and public education teaches you the things you need to know, but it doesn't really teach you how to learn. I guess.
Yeah. So Code for Boston has been we've had these kind of talks that get to the core of who we are. We talked about how we kind of stick to this room in CIC every Tuesday, and it's created a good consistent community. And that was sort of what we needed to do to get off the ground. But I think we're past the point that we should have been going out deeper like into the community. And I was gonna ask how we can start that revolution and spark it. I think one of the answers maybe is to just go to places where people are where that revolution is really needed and just listen.
Exactly.
And I don't know what comes after that. I don't know if you know what comes after that. That's like what I'm working right now.
I don't think it's forced to know what comes after. I don't think you should know what comes after. I feel like innovation is creating something out of nothing for one, and going into the unknown and coming out with a new gem, going into the straight darkness and finding the dot. So yeah, I feel like something like that would really be significant. It's like places that are devoid of things are the places where innovation is most likely to happen. And I mean, it doesn't really look like that where I'm from because, it's devoid of a lot of stuff and not a lot of innovation happen. But underneath the surface level, like everything is innovation. Every day we're finding a way to get what we want and get things done. And the problem with it is that right now, like we're hustling our own cylinders, hustling the things we need every day, but we're not hustling the right inventory.
I guess it's on the people that have the inventory to bring that where it's needed. Kai, thank you very much. This has been great. Thanks for your talk. And thank you.